Now at noon, we are hearing from the final witnesses in the trial of a former Jefferson County priest accused of sexual assault. We'll continue to follow the case. And the White House is taking steps to ban flavored e-cigarettes as health concerns tied to vaping continue to rise.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Thursday afternoon. The rain continues. There's a potential for flash flooding in our area. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at your first alert forecast. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Mark. All of southern Wisconsin continues to be under a flash flood watch until 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. In spots like Grant County, there still is a flood warning until 5:15 tonight. Our next round of showers and thunderstorms moving through southwestern Wisconsin on Doppler track. We can see some showers and thunderstorms, some flashes of lightning showing up across Iowa County, and also some downpours into Lafayette County. This is the latest round of showers and storms, and they're not done yet. I think we need to wait until we get into early Friday for that rain to subside as a cold front comes through. The good news is we've been pretty stable outside with the clouds hanging around in Madison. That could help us at least dodge a little bit of that heavy rain threat later on. But just outside of southern Wisconsin, it is warming up once again, so that atmosphere is destabilizing, could produce some more thunderstorms south and west of us, and those will continue to track to the northeast. Temperatures are in the mid-60s, so definitely on the cool side as we start the noon hour. But as we get into the afternoon, skies clearing a little bit before those showers and thunderstorms roll through. Temperatures may make it into the 70s. We also may be stuck in the 60s, but that heavy rain threat is the big story there. We'll go over hour by hour our rain and storm chances, plus talk about some nicer weather on the way to start the weekend in your first alert forecast.
All right, Dave, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Right now, the trial for the retired Fort Atkinson priest facing felony sexual assault charges continues. William Nolan is accused of sexually assaulting an altar boy more than 100 times between 2006 and 2010. This morning, we heard from the detective who the accuser reported the assault to. Later today, Nolan is expected to testify. Yesterday, the judge had predicted we could expect a verdict in the case today, but due to unexplained delays, he now says closing arguments will likely happen tomorrow. A Racine bar is paying tribute to the police officer who died trying to stop an armed robbery.
You get a puddle of tears and you work your way through it, as a way of dealing with the grief.
The mural is a train breaking through a brick wall. It'll include an image of Officer John Hetland along with his badge number. It's going up on the side of the Hiawatha Bar and Grill, the place Hetland stopped for a meal shortly before being shot and killed at the nearby Teasers Bar in June. Hetland, a 24-year veteran of the police department, was a loyal patron and friend to the Hiawatha Bar owner. The mural is her tribute to him. The artist hopes to finish it by September 21st, when a fundraiser for the fallen officer's children will take place. Madison police believe that they have located the laptops stolen from the Bridge Lake Point Winona Neighborhood Center earlier this week. Officers say a man who was moving into a nearby apartment found someone had shattered his sliding glass door. Police didn't find any intruders inside the empty apartment, but they did find a box and a plastic tote full of laptop computers. Police say the robber most likely decided to stash the computers in the apartment since it appeared to be unoccupied. Former Republican U.S. Senate candidate Leah Vukmir says that she will not run for Congress next year. Vukmir was one of the highest-profile Republicans considering running to replace the retiring U.S. Representative Jim Sensenbrenner in the 5th Congressional District. That's a solidly Republican district covering Milwaukee's northern and western suburbs. Vukmir said in a statement that her transition to working for the National Taxpayers Union has been rewarding and given her a chance to, quote, enjoy some personal freedom. Numerous other Republicans are still considering a run. Those include former Governor Scott Walker's son, Matt Walker, and Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald, plus a handful of others. The House Judiciary Committee has approved a resolution defining the rules of the panel's impeachment investigation. The vote gives Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler the ability to deem the committee hearings as impeachment hearings, allows staff to question witnesses, and allows the committee to collect information in a closed setting.
With these new procedures, we will begin next week an aggressive series of hearings investigating allegations of corruption, obstruction, and abuse of power against the president. The investigation will go well beyond the four corners of the Mueller report.
The party line vote comes as House Democrats have struggled to define the committee's investigation, with Nadler saying it's impeachment inquiry. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi refrains from calling it that. Nadler says the first hearing is scheduled for Tuesday. Former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski is expected to testify. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham calls the inquiry completely absurd and says it will backfire. Tonight, all the Democratic frontrunners will be on the same debate stage for the first time. The presidential candidates are squaring off in Houston. The top 10 candidates include former Vice President Joe Biden and progressive Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Gun violence, immigration, and climate change are expected to be hot topics. Meanwhile, President Trump's campaign team plans to fly a banner over the city tonight to make his voice heard. The president says a ban on most flavored vaping products is the right response to what health officials call an epidemic of e-cigarette use by teens. The Health and Human Services Secretary announced the FDA will soon issue guidance on how to take flavored vaping products off the market, targeting products they believe are especially appealing to kids.
Simply have to remove these attractive flavored products from the marketplace until they secure FDA approval.
In a rare foray into policy, the First Lady has expressed her concerns about the issue on Twitter. But CBS News has learned any real crackdown is likely a long way off, since it'll take weeks for the FDA to release its final rule. And even then, companies have time to respond with legal challenges. And more local news now. 2 new shopping locations will open on Whitney Way later this month. Sierra, that's an outdoor and active brand shop, will open in Whitney Square. It'll be the first location in Madison. And TJ Maxx is relocating from the Westgate Mall to Whitney Way and Odana Road. Both locations open on September 26th, and both stores will host grand openings and donate charities to celebrate. And there's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you can't get enough of this summer fruit, then we've got a dessert that'll have you feeling peachy.
Ashley.
If you've ever bitten into a fresh peach and the juice dripped down your chin, and you just sat there with a big grin on your face, then I have a pretty good feeling that you're gonna love the fresh peach cobbler that we're whipping up today. We start by cutting a good amount of fresh peaches into quarters, peeling them, and then cutting them into wedges. If you're like me, you might wanna cut a few extras so you can nibble on them along the way. Once that's done, we combine some sugar, cornstarch, and a touch of cinnamon in a saucepan. After giving this a mix, we add some water and our cut up peaches and bring that to a boil. After this simmers for a minute, we pour this into a baking dish and dollop it with a homemade biscuit batter. Then we just pop this in the oven just long enough for the biscuits to set up and the tops to get golden. Can you think of a better way to use peaches? And when you scoop the bubbling hot peaches over the flaky biscuits, get ready to experience a true Southern favorite. To get this classic recipe, simply visit our website and look for our Southern Peach Cobbler. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a peachy keen way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Look at that, it's...
All right, guys, thank you. Next at noon, rain and thunderstorms continue today, and there's a potential for flash flooding in our area. Dave Caulfield will have all the details next in your first alert forecast. Well, business executives are demanding lawmakers take action to make stricter gun laws, and a popular e-cigarette company is expanding its reach as concerns about the health impacts on young people continues. Diane King Hall has your Money Watch report.
The CEOs of more than 100 companies are sounding off on the nation's gun debate. In a letter to Congress, the business leaders implore lawmakers to widen background checks to apply to all gun sales and enact a federal red flag law. The top brass argue that current laws don't wholly reflect how people buy guns today. The cost of living in the U.S. ticked slightly higher in August. According to the Labor Department, consumer prices inched up 0.1%. That was in line with expectations. Meanwhile, a weekly snapshot of the labor market is out. The government says first-time filings for unemployment benefits fell by 15,000 to 204,000 last week. That's the biggest weekly drop since May. As the U.S. cracks down on vaping, Juul is going global. The e-cigarette maker has entered China via e-commerce sites such as Alibaba and JD.com in an effort to tap the world's largest market of smokers. Wednesday, President Trump vowed to ban flavored e-cigarettes to deter youth vaping. And just because summer is virtually done doesn't mean travel has to be. TripAdvisor is out with its list of top 25 fall destinations. Leading the list this year is Las Vegas, followed by Orlando, Florida. London climbed to number 3. Hawaii and New York City rounded out the top 5. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thank you, Diane. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is up 144 points. The Nasdaq up 50, and the S&P 500 gaining 17.5. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Dave's here. More rain on the way.
Yeah, more storms possible later on this evening into tonight. We're watching visible cloud track closely. The clouds have kept us pretty cool so far across southern Wisconsin, but just to the south we could see a bunch of clearing and some thunderstorms forming in that clearing across portions of northeastern Iowa into southwestern Wisconsin. So we do have some storms moving through right now, but a warm front pushing through from the southwest that could help provide some of that fuel later on for some additional thunderstorms to develop, and those could produce some heavy rain as well. So on Doppler track, we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms moving closer to Madison, but really not too much activity until you get back to where that cold front is still sort of getting its act together, closer to Omaha, Nebraska, across portions of northwestern Iowa. Then we zoom in, we could see just a couple of downpours, a thunderstorm or two across Iowa County. This continues to push to the north and east. But here's the problem, folks. Over the last 72 hours, the last 3 days, we have received anywhere from about 2 to 6 inches of rain across portions of southern Wisconsin, and more of that is on the way later today and tonight. And some of these estimates are kind of lowballing it a little bit, especially across Grant County. That's why there is a flood warning across Grant County right now until 5:15 tonight. An alert day in the forecast for this afternoon and tonight for those showers and storms, which could produce heavy rain. Another 1 to 2 inches of rain, possibly locally heavier amounts possible as we head into the next couple of hours, and really the next 12 to about 18 hours. We do have a flash flood watch also in effect until early Friday morning. That flood warning, as I mentioned, goes until about 5 o'clock tonight in Grant County. Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. We have some mist out there. That's about it. So very light rain falling at the station. Edgewater Skycam, we're looking at the clouds staying put for now. But again, as that warm front pushes a little bit closer, we could start to see some clearing over the next couple of hours. Right now, with those clouds, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 60s, and we are looking at upper 60s in Janesville, but that is quite a bit cooler compared to this time yesterday, as you might expect when we've been socked in with the clouds all morning. Dew points, though, are still plenty high in some spots in the lower to middle 60s, but check out that gradient. That's where that warm front is, that big dark shade of blue there. Dew points well into the 70s across portions of Iowa. That weather might start to push into portions of southern Wisconsin later this afternoon. So we're watching that possibility. Future track really not painting too much in the way of showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon, but that is a possibility. So we're watching that closely. Then here's the cold front. That comes through later on tonight, and depending on how much of that humidity builds up during the day, that could make the thunderstorms that come through tonight all the more potent, all the more powerful. And so heavy rain possible along that front. The good news is after that front moves through, we're basically done with that rain. We're a lot less humid, so there's not as much fuel in the atmosphere. Temperatures starting off in the low 60s Friday, and we're looking at much calmer conditions as we head into Friday and Saturday. So let's take a look at future track precipitation, anywhere from another ½ inch to maybe 1.5 inches, close to 2 inches of rain in some spots, just depending on where those downpours set up. Does look a lot calmer for the rest of the 10-day forecast. Humidity does return, though, as we head into early next week with temperatures back in the low 80s.
Summer's not over.
No, we've seen that over the last couple of days.
All right, keep an eye on the flooding situation.
Yes.
All right, Dave, thank you. Next to noon, Marissa DeGroot is here from the Dane County Humane Society with our Pet of the Week. We'll meet Charlie. Charlie. Stay with us. Marissa DeGroot is here from the Dane County Humane Society with our Pet of the Week. Hello, Marissa.
Hello.
And tell us about this girl here.
So this lady here is Charlie. Yes, a lady Charlie. And it does not get any happier or wigglier than Charlie here.
She came out from down south. It was right off the truck this morning. Tell us about that.
Yeah, she literally came up from an overcrowded shelter down south this morning. And generally, you know, we'd give them some time to settle in. But everyone's telling me that Charlie came right off the truck, just a big old smile on her face and ready to meet people.
She got out of her cage, her crates, right?
Yep, she was just so excited to start greeting people that she jumped right out. And Charlie here, she is 3 years old, so you know, this is as big as she's gonna get, and 3 is still pretty young, where I think she's looking for an energetic family too.
You don't know what she is.
Yeah, she's a little bit of everything. She's definitely some sort of pit bull terrier mix, but if you get a close look at her beautiful eyes,
She has two different color eyes.
Yeah, she has one blue eye and one brown eye. Very unique.
There it is. Look at that face. She is a happy dog.
She is just like when you go up and meet her at her kennel, she's just going to be wiggling and giving you that beautiful smile.
And she's wearing a banana split for a reason.
She is, and very tolerantly wearing this banana split because she is getting all ready for Dogtoberfest, which is happening this Sunday. And $10 entry donation gets you in the door. We're going to have beer, local food, bluegrass, and of course the dog costume contest. So just for dogs and a couple's costume contest for you and your pup.
And it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it should be absolutely beautiful, and we're going to have a bunch of great sponsors and activities out there too.
All right, that's why she's wearing a banana split.
Yep, she is getting all ready.
All right, last time?
Last week we had another beautiful pup. We had Banks, and he did get adopted. We were real excited for him.
There he is.
Oh, what a handsome boy.
Yeah, he was a handsome boy. He had a lot of energy as well.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of energetic pups right now, so come on in and check them out.
And Charlie's checking out Banks on the monitor
Yeah,
here.
she's like, ooh, who's that handsome guy?
All right, let's get Charlie a home. Go to the website, giveshelter.org, 838-0413 for information about Charlie and all the animals available. Marissa, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great Dogtoberfest. Here is Dave with one final check of the forecast.
All right, we do have some storms rolling through southern Wisconsin this afternoon, and we can see that really they're not all that potent just yet. We've been pretty stable with those clouds in place, but a warm front just off to the south and west that could push in by the time we get to later this afternoon and make any thunderstorms that come through tonight as that cold front passes through all the more potent. So we're watching that closely. Have the umbrella ready to go. Thunderstorms redeveloping this afternoon with that heavy rain possible, already on top of about 2 to 6 inches of rain over the last 72 hours. So we just simply don't need any more rain. Temperatures in the lower 70s, especially if we get that clearing a little bit later on this afternoon. 10-day forecast showing after that front comes through tonight with that heavy rain threat and alert day in the forecast today. We're much calmer for Friday and Saturday. Temperatures in the lower to middle 70s. Really nice weather into next week.
All right, thank you, Dave. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a great afternoon.